So beside me here, I have a 2026 Ford F-150 XLT 302A in the beautiful Antimatter Blue color. We're going to do a walk around and a review on it. Let me know what you guys think. So in front of me here, I have the 2026 Ford F-150 XLT 302A package in Antimatter Blue. Now this color is a very, very dark blue. Kind of looks black depending on which angle you look at. Now this truck does have the black appearance pack, but we'll start here right at the front. You've got these horizontal daytime running lights, which are amber color. You do get LED lights as well. Now as we carry over into the center here of the grille, we've got a blacked out grille here. Now, since this does have the black appearance pack, you're gonna get the blacked out Ford badge there. Below that Ford badge, you can see a camera. That is for your 360 camera. You've got your parking sensors on the bottom of the bumper there. You've got two fog lights, two recovery hooks. Now you do have a plastic air dam also underneath, but here's a glimpse of what it looks like kind of a little bit lower. Now, as you can see, we are in a colder climate. -30 it's supposed to hit here today in Southern Ontario. But overall, that's really it here at the front of the XLT. Let me know what you guys think. They haven't really changed much for the 2026 version, but let's take a look underneath the hood and go over the engine of choice. So underneath the hood here of this F-150 XLT 302A, we've got the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6. We've got 400 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque hooked up to the 10-speed auto. So I would say this is a great engine for power. You've got a decent amount of payload and towing capability, and it is a highly optioned engine when you get an F-150. Now, personally, still, I prefer the 5 liter, but it's just going to be a personal preference. So that's underneath the hood here of this F-150 XLT. Let's take a look around the truck and go over its options. So let's take a look around the F-150 XLT here, and we'll start with the tire and wheel setup. So we're sitting on a 18-inch wheel, 275/65 R18 is the tire size. We can see we got a blacked out wheel there with a blacked out Ford badge. We are sitting on Goodyear Wrangler tires as well. We can see we got that carpeted liner inside, no air suspension on these trucks. We've got the blacked out side vent here with F-150 XLT there on the side. We've got a plastic mirror cap here. I kind of wish it was body colored. You know, you're probably gonna have to go to the 303A package, but I just don't think it looks that good. But we've got a camera underneath and then a light on the side. And then here's a side profile view of the truck. This is a 5.5 foot bed. You can see we've got a fixed running board there, keyless entry only on the front two doors. And then as always, the back windows are going to be your tinted ones, so you can always match the fronts. Now to unlock it, all you do is grab behind it when the key is in your pocket. And then to lock it, all you do is put your finger right here on this lock button. Now as we open inside the F-150 XLT, we are greeted with a cloth interior, which we'll get into. But we'll start with the door panel. Soft touch here where your arm would lay. Lock and unlock. You've got some kind of nice, cool granite looking design here. Soft touch here at the top. You got some storage down below. Nothing here on the door sill. You do get a speaker here, but no Bang & Olufsen on this one. And then over here is the cloth seats, which they actually feel pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do prefer the cloth seats. You know, if it's really hot outside, these things don't get really hot. You do get your seat adjustments here, and the nice thing is they are automatic. And this is what the front looks like here. You have an upper glove box area and a lower glove box area, and then some storage over here as well. You've got handles to help you get in on both sides. So that looks pretty good here on the passenger side. And then over here at the back, you get more cloth seats here, and then we'll start here over with the door panel. Soft touch here at the top, and also here where your arm would lay. You've got a cup holder here, more of that trim design, some storage down below with your speaker. Nothing here on the door sill, and this is what that seat looks like. So again, all cloth, and they are, like I said, pretty comfy. Now you can lift them up here by pushing that, and then they lift up, so you get more of like a flat floor. Over here inside, you've got a 120, 2 USB-Cs, and then you've got your cup holders. No moonroof on this option truck, but you still can get a moonroof. But as you can see, it has an indent there for taller passengers. And you've got handles to help you get in on both sides. But I'll show you guys how I would get in here as someone who's about 5'11". All right, so before hopping inside, this running board is gonna help you a lot. And then you've got your handle to help you get in, and voila, you're inside. Now the seat in front of me, I've got about probably, you know, half a foot or just over for room space. The seats, like I said, are very comfy. You've got that indent here if you're a little bit taller or you're wearing like a helmet or a hat. You've got your cup holders here, USB-Cs, and then a 120 with your vents. No heated seats. You're gonna have to go to a 502A Lariat to get the heated seats back here. But overall, I mean, it's not bad, honestly. Like, the seats are pretty comfy. I've got a lot of room here. They don't recline. You know, I think in the Ram trucks, in the higher trims, you can actually recline the seat, which I think is necessary, honestly, if you're gonna be in here for a long time. But overall, that's really it back here. You don't get any screens or anything. in the truck, so I wish they added that in the higher end options, but unfortunately they don't. But to get out, you got your handle, which is going to help a lot. You've got your running board here, and that's it. Let me know what you guys think. So that's it for the back here. We'll shut the door, and then here's a look at that back tire and wheels. So same dimensions here in the back. You don't get a carpeted liner in here, but it looks like it's kind of like a plastic liner in here. You can see you got the 4x4 sticker there. But overall, that's really it for a side profile view. Let's take a look at the back. So in the back here of the F-150 XLT 302A, we can see we got the Ford F-150 name stamped there. We've got the Ford badge blacked out there. Parking sensors here. No dual exhaust. We're only going to get that on a 303A package. We've got your tail lights here, which aren't LED, I believe. I don't think they look LED, but you know, they look okay. You've got a camera here. So this is your rear camera for backing up. And then over here is a light that beams down when you are, you know, backing up to a trailer at night and you need to see. And then over here, I'm going to zoom out, is the button to open. So you push it twice and it will come down. Now this one does have the exterior work surface here, which comes with your tailgate step. Now being in cold climate, you would think that this would probably be frozen, but it is not. And I'm telling you guys, it's very, very cold out today. You can see we've got some measurements here. We've got tie downs in each corner, but to get in, very easy. Put your foot, you got your railing here on the side. Now you do have a 120 plug over there. You've got cargo clamps that go in each corner as well. You've got some storage here, and then this is actually a spray and bed liner. You do also have lights on each side, and then also your light at the top. Now with the 302A package, you're gonna get a rear sliding window. Now that button over here is gonna turn on your exterior lights, which I'll demonstrate for you guys here. So you push that button, I don't know if you guys can see, but the lights just turned on, all three of them. Then you push it again and they'll turn off. Now to close this tailgate step here, tells you steps. So there's one, you push that, and this goes down. Then you push that down again, this will go down, tuck it in, and voila, your step is up. Now another thing to note is these here are there if you need to clamp things down. Now that is really it for the tailgate. We'll lift this up. And that's really it for the back, guys. Let me know what you think. Let's go take a look at those seats behind the driver. I just want to say thank you to Kitchener Ford here in Kitchener, Ontario. Go see my boy Connor. He'll hook you up with a great deal on one of these units. All right, so taking a look at the seats behind the driver. So it's basically the same on this side as it is on the passenger. But here's a look at the door panel, all soft touch here. You got your window control cup holder here. I really like that they put that there. We've got your speaker, door panel storage down below. Nothing here on the door sill. And then this, again, is what the seats look like. They do fold up. It's a 60-40 split. You're going to get more storage there. And then over here, cup holders there at the top, USB-Cs, and then your 120 with your vents. And then you got handles on both sides with the indent in the roof. So that's it for the back here. Let's take a look at the front. All right, so taking a look at the front seats here on this F-150 XLT. We'll start with the door panel, soft touch here at the top. We've got your door handle here, window and mirror controls here, lock and unlock, speaker here, and then some more storage. I know it's a little snowy here, but we've got nothing here on the door sill. You've got your seat adjustments here, which are automatic, which is nice. Then here you've got that cloth seat. I like the fact that they put this storage pocket here so you can store things. And then over on the left side of the steering wheel, we've got your bed lights and then your lights here. And then you have your mirror lights, which are on the side of the mirror. And then you could actually open the tailgate from here as well. Now this is a telescopic steering wheel, but it is manually adjusted. That's it before we hop in, guys. Let's take a look inside. So we are inside the F-150 XLT 302A. So we'll start with the steering wheel here. We've got a leather wrap steering wheel here, as we can see. On the left side is going to be your cruise control with your adaptive cruise control settings. You got volume and then voice command. On the right side is going to be your buttons for your front infotainment there. So if we hit menu here, we'll be able to cycle through the different settings which you can control. The nice thing is you can go to my view and then change the different settings there. You can also have like a comm screen, which is nice. You got your trip screens, and then this comm screen will change it to like a complete simple screen with your kilometers and then your fuel. Obviously we're almost out of fuel here, and then you can cycle back to go and click whatever screen you want. So we'll be on fuel economy here. You also have your toggles for your tuning and then your call hang up and call pickup, but I like the display here. I think it's set up nicely. On the left side of the steering wheel, we've got your toggle for your wipers. Now no heads up display here on this one, but at the top here it actually is a hard touch plastic, no soft touch material. We've got some storage there at the top, and then over here again more of that hard touch. Then like I mentioned to you guys, you got that upper glove box area with that lower glove box area there. Over here, before we get into the screen, as you can see, you got vents on both sides, automatic stop start, which will turn that off, your pro trailer backup here on the left, push button start, and then this is actually where your trailer brake controller would go. So right now this is just basically a place to put you know, coins or whatever. Now below that, this is actually your drive mode selection with your 4x4 settings. So you can click depending on which mode you want to be in. But if you cycle through this, it'll give you an animation. So you got normal, tow haul, you've got eco, you've got sport, and then if we go to the right, you got slippery, and then you've got off-road. So it'll actually change the 4x4 settings depending on which mode you're in, which is cool. Now we'll get into the screen here. The screen is very easy to use and it is very intuitive. So we're in the map setting right now, but we also have audio there. With these arrows, you can cycle through depending on which mode you want to be in on this side. You can click audio and it will go to the big side of the screen, and then you could have navigation on the small side. Now there is this little arrow here, so when you click that arrow, it'll swap screens. Personally, I like the map on the bigger side so you can actually see a little bit more of it. You can also have your navigation be on the full screen if you want. You've got hotkeys down here for audio, navigation, phone, apps. You've got settings here, so you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is hooked up wirelessly. Then you have features here, you know, your driver assistance, your zone lighting. Zone lighting is cool. It'll turn on all the exterior lights outside the vehicle. So if you are needing a lot of light at night, you can turn on all the lights, which is a really cool thing. That's really it for the screen here. And like I said, you can swap through. When you click this button here, you can actually just do it like this with your finger, or you can just click the arrows. So it's just going to depend honestly on the person. Now, one thing that I hope they don't get rid of is the climate control buttons. I don't think people still want the buttons in the screen. I think they want physical buttons, because hypothetically if this screen went out, I mean, it is -30 outside almost, the screen may fail, and then how are you going to control your climate? Having climate control buttons, personally, I think is the best thing to have. You've got dual zone climate, heated seats. When you go to the Lariat, you're going to be able to get a heated steering wheel and ventilated seats, and then you can control it via here. On the right side, you've got your 12-volt plug and then a 120, which is also nice to note. Now over here, you got your volume and tuning, and then this here is your camera button, which you can cycle through the different camera options here. This is nice. It gives you a bird's eye view out back, so you can see kind of how far you are to, you know, backing up a hitch. And then when you want to get rid of it, you just click the camera button again. Hazards, trash control. Down below here, you got USB-C and USB. Then you've got a pocket of storage here. This won't close. In the Lariat trim, you'll be able to have like a little thing here that comes and closes it, which makes it a little bit more cleaner. Now, one thing that I mentioned to you guys is the storage here. So as you can see, I put my gloves here. It is a really nice pocket to store things. This here is your center console shifter. I like this center console shifter here. I know it takes up space, but I think it looks really good here. You can actually push it down and then maybe have like a laptop here or whatever to kind of have this platform here. Now you can also get in the interior work surface, which will have this fold forward and give you that space. It is an option, which I always highly recommend to get it. Now this can only be done when you are parked, but as you can see, you got a slot here to put your phone, 2 cup holders there. And then like I said, this is your center console, soft touch here with some gray stitching. We'll lift up here. You got some storage underneath here. You can take this out, and you got 2 more USB-Cs down below, which is pretty cool. And then you can put that back in. Now, since we don't have a moonroof, there's really only your light controls up here with your rear sliding window and your sunglass holder. Then you've got your 2 visors here. Now that is really it, guys, for the interior. Let me know what you think. I'm sure you're wondering and curious about what the price is. So let's go outside, give you guys my final thoughts, and talk price. So let's talk price. 2026 Ford F-150 XLT 302A. We're priced at $80,260 Canadian. Let me know what you guys think about the truck in the comments. Curious to know if you'd rather take this truck compared to maybe a Chev or GMC or Ram. Let me know what you guys think. This concludes this review. We'll see you in the next one.